So give me sort of like the who, what, when, where, why of what Roofer Ops is, kind of how it started and sort of what your purpose is behind this, because it's a pretty cool program.
Absolutely, man. So RooferOps is a full system that we stumbled upon, right? And created over 20 years of business experience in the roofing industry where I'm chasing all these opportunities for lead-based companies to create opportunities for me to sell jobs, right? So in the roofing industry, it's kind of easy to install the job and pick up the check. It's really, really hard to get the initial opportunity. And I've tried everything across the board as far as home advisor. And, when I first started, we were in in the phone book. And as the environment has changed, so is marketing, right? So you keep chasing these new opportunities to create more leads to grow your business. And I just stumbled all the time where it's, you start with a new company and 6 months from now, they say, hey, we're going to start 6 months from now, you're going to start seeing the opportunity. You get to 6 months, there's no opportunity, and you wasted 6 months and 6 months of money, and you start over and you get excited to do something else. So the other thing with it is, once we got the opportunity, we got the lead via, text message or a landing page or email. That's when everything really started, where you have to actually sell that person to get into their house or get a hold of them. And that's hard. So with Roofer Ops, we created a part of the lead management system that we created is an opportunity for the homeowner to land on your calendar and set the appointment up themselves when they're hot and excited about it. So it's a one person lead. They're not going out to any other contractors. They're setting on your own calendar, and then it starts this full automation system for them to set up the communication back and forth. So that's just one part of the Roofer Ops. So basically, from the start to the finish of Roofer Ops is we've created a system where creates the initial opportunity, creates the automation to set it up on your schedule. We have coaching where once you get that opportunity, you're in the house, that you follow a 10-step sales process. So you're not just winging it in the house. You're going up against the best competition as far as if they're coming to the table with a 10-step sales process where it goes over and builds value on you, builds value on the company, builds value on the product, the installation, and all that process through their closing procedures. It gives you a leg up to be the best and the best in the house and really capitalize on that lead that you paid for. And then once you get that, set up systems on the best ordering practices, best practices as far as finding and maintaining the proper crews to
Hmm.
give to give the customer the best experience. Then opportunities after the sale to create a referral program and also create online reviews. And then once you have that, the money that's left over to create better opportunities to save money on insurance, save money on, your ordering from suppliers, and then taking the profit that you make and turning it into an end goal for this roofing company and turning the roofing company into a vehicle to get you out of the roofing space, right? To get you sitting on an island, sipping a cocktail next to your wife and not having to worry about that, because the typical roofer is just grinding, right? We're just paying the bills, just trying to make it. And the extra money we have, we spend here, spend there. And since we've created this system, I've saved so much money and it's automated. I know I have an end goal that I'm not going to be 60 years old sitting at Mr. and Mrs. Jones' kitchen table still pitching roofs, right?
Right.
This whole system creates an environment from the start to finish. And the reason that I'm putting this out there and I'm teamed up with you, Chris, is that we found the secret sauce, right? So why hold this in? I'm not telling my competition, right? I'm not creating this to somebody that's in my area. I'm putting this out to everybody else that's not a competitor to me. So we can share the secret sauce so they can be on the right path where everybody should be is, right. You start your own business to create this path. So that's kind of how it started and where we're at. And I'm excited about it, man. It's a really cool thing that's going on. I know you're excited about it as
Yeah,
well.
everything you said is right. It's funny. It's like I think a lot of guys, they get into this industry for various reasons, right? Obviously, it can be a very lucrative business, but I think a lot of people when they get into it, they figure like, all right, I'm going to get a truck, I'm going to get a guy to help me, I'm going to get a crew, and it's like there's so much more to it than the operational part of it, right? It's generating leads, it's closing sales, it's having what I call like operational efficiency. And that encompasses so many different things from generating leads to financial and tax planning, right? Like
Yeah.
there's so much more that goes into running a profitable business, right? And just to your point, the end goal is not to be, managing crews when you're 70 years old. It's let's figure out how we can generate as much revenue as we can within the next 5 to 10 years. So there's actually that end goal of retirement, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be working until they're 75 years old. So I think that's maybe the 30,000 foot view of what RooferOps is. It's a complete end to end system that starts with lead generation, but goes all the way to the end goal of, all right, now that you're making $3 or $4 million a year, how should that money be saved? How should that money be dispersed? Do you have a trust set up? Do you have the right insurance in place for your business? Like there's so many different things that I think the average roofer is not thinking ahead. And I think that's where people get caught up, and why sometimes you see these guys, they come into the business and 2 years later, they're out of the business. They're doing something else completely. So yeah, awesome system for sure.